7
Whoever owns their car
starts
better get their
now.
car going.
They were fast, furious, and they were widespread. Summer storms packing a punch. A downed power line in Garden City sent this car up in flames.
Then I heard a crackle, I heard a branch fell, and I looked out the window, and clearly my car got hit.
Wrong place, wrong time. A large tree comes crashing down on the vehicle owned by Fox 2 producer Ben Gretchko out in Birmingham. Scenes like this were spotted in every county in Metro Detroit tonight.
It's become an unfortunate tradition, but with severe storms also comes, of course, power outages.
What a mess. 222,000 DTE customers are without juice, without power. That includes several power lines that were damaged in the heart of Southfield. Let's get live to Fox 2's Jessica Dupnack. She joins us with a closer look. Jessica.
Yeah, definitely one of the more dramatic scenes that we saw around the area. 4 to 6 of those really big power poles. One of them behind me snapped right along the lodge at 10 Mile and Evergreen. Now DTE secured the situation and then moved on. As you said, very widespread issues all around our area. You mentioned that situation in Garden City. Let's take another look at that video.
We should probably move our cars. Oh, well, yeah, that's a great idea right now.
Just look at this. A car erupts into flames, downed lines littering our area, causing chaos like here in Garden City. DTE Energy confirming they're monitoring 1,000 downed lines and counting as of Tuesday night.
Please consider all wires that are on the ground live and extremely dangerous.
Winds rip through Tuesday evening. DTE Energy clocking winds at around 70 miles per hour in spots. 76 miles per hour was the highest reported by the energy company. And that's why 200,000 people on their grid are without power.
We do have some significant damage reported in the South Lyon, Milford area. We also know of some damage that is significant in nature up in the Rochester area.
With the caveat that this was a widespread storm, not many areas spared. Just look at this scene in Southfield. Mega power poles snap, tipping, closing down roads in the area of 10 Mile and Evergreen. Crews brought in from all over the Midwest to mop up this mess.
At this point in time, we recommend that as many people that can stay indoors as possible, especially children and pets.
Definitely sound like a broken record, but absolutely stay away from any of those down lines. DTE saying that even if they're not arcing and sparking, they can still be dangerous. Now, DTE giving that press briefing right around 8 o'clock. We've seen the numbers go up a bit, about 20,000 more people out of power. Now, the big question, when will the lights be back on? I know some folks are reaching out to me on social media saying they're waiting Wednesday, Thursday, but there is a lot of work to be done. We're talking about at least 1,000 down lines that they're battling at this point. Reporting live in Southfield, Jessica Dupnack on The Edge.
Crews have a lot of work to do to help their comrades here on the ground in Metro Detroit. Jessica, not just the people walking around in their backyards with those down power lines, but if you're driving, I was on Losser near 14 and 15 Mile during my lunch break, heading north there, and it was just awful. I mean, the lights are out, they come on, they go off again. You got to take it easy when you're driving.
Yeah, we were driving around all day, and we definitely had some close calls, people looking around at the damage and not paying attention to all the lights are out, not to mention you add all of those construction barrels like the ones you see behind me. It's a little bit hectic out there, so the next couple of days, just take it a little bit slow. Give yourself some extra time.
As you say, even though we say it every year, every time this happens, great advice there. Jessica Dupnack for us live tonight. Thank you.
And to put tonight's storm into perspective, hurricane winds are 74 miles an hour and higher. Both Metro, Airport, and Roseville hit numbers higher than that.
Now, the worst is over. We could still, though, see some storms overnight. Captain Rich Luderman has a look at our forecast. Rich?
Yeah, it's pretty quiet out there right now. You can see that line of storms that crossed the area today between 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock. Notice where the action is right now. Northern Indiana and just off to the west of Grand Rapids over Lake Michigan, some more storms. Here is the severe thunderstorm watch in effect until 2 a.m. Not for our area, but for northern Indiana especially. How about some great live shots from Peoria, Illinois? You can see the lightning that's on the horizon there. It's getting very close to Peoria right now. How about that temperature? 87 degrees. The dangerous winds today show Metro Airport 76 mile per hour gusts. There's Roseville not far behind. And you said it. hurricane force is 74, so we did see some hurricane force gusts whip through the area. How about the daytime high today? 95. That ties the official hottest day of the summer, back with June 17th coming in at 95. The record today was 98, so we did come short of a record. There's your rainfall total, about 0.6 of an inch of rain with those heavy downpours. Now, the temperatures have been knocked down, but the humidity does remain. Not much of a breeze out there. Dew points are in the mid to upper 60s for a lot of us. How about 81 in Fort Wayne right now, 85 Pittsburgh, cooler up around Marquette. Some of that air is on its way, 61 in Marquette. So a weak cold front will cross the area tomorrow morning. That'll bring the heat down, also bring the humidity down. We do have another chance for storms on Friday with our latest cold front. You'll see that reflected in the 7-day forecast. So can't rule out a stray storm tonight. It's going to be muggy, down to 72. Not as hot tomorrow. Still humid Wednesday, high of 85. And then there is that Friday storm chance. Notice for the weekend, temperatures do fall off, especially into Labor Day Monday with a high of 73. Remember, always get the latest forecast. You can check the radar at any time with the Fox 2 Weather app. You can download it for free in the App Store or in Google Play.
There was definitely sparks and there was smoke. It smelled.
Imagine seeing this frightening and fiery sight outside of your house. The storm brought down power lines that sparked to the backyard of a family home in St. Clair Shores tonight. Fortunately, those flames were able to stay away from this house.
Yeah, good news there. As we mentioned, it is all hands on deck for DTE in the coming days as they work to restore power to 222,000 customers.
In a popular stretch of Rochester Hills, power poles felt like dominoes. Fox 2's Dave Kinchin gives us a closer look.
DTE has their hands full right now. We're in Rochester. Take a look. You can see all of those yellow working lights here because of a major project restoring power. That's what they're doing.
It sounded like bang, bang, bang.
Livernois and Avon roads in Rochester Hills looking like a war zone after Mother Nature opened fire.
I didn't know what it was until I came out and saw all these power poles snap.
About 5 power poles in total ripped up and knocked over, appearing to turn out the lights at scores of homes in the area. And it threw off one man who did not want to appear on camera.
I thought it was a transformer.
A little over 10 minutes away, a monster mess in Auburn Hills, a toppled tree covering the road leading into a neighborhood off of Adams. Police securing the scene so crews can eventually get to it, cut it up, and make the road passable again. And nearly 20 minutes from there, in Birmingham, it began with the sound of something wicked on the way.
At first I heard a loud gust of wind, and then I heard the trees. I was in my room. I heard the trees outside just crack and come down.
Fox 2 writer and producer Ben Grechko found his car was now a casualty of the storm with a large tree on top of it on South Glenhurst Drive near Lincoln.
You never think you're gonna be impacted. You see other people impacted. You never think it's gonna be you, and then it happens and it's you.
Then again, it could have been much worse.
At least, thankfully, the car is not totally damaged, but we will figure it out.
Meantime, DTE says remember to stay at least 25 feet away from any down power lines and always assume they're live and dangerous, and call DTE right away if you see one. In Rochester Hills, Dave Kinchin on The Edge.
An AT&T nationwide outage is affecting calls to 911. Customers stated their phones have been stuck in SOS mode for several hours. There are more than 5,000 complaints right now. The cause for the outage is unknown. An AT&T spokesperson says the company is working as quickly as possible to address the issue. Also tonight, former President Donald Trump still facing some charges related to the January 6th riot, despite the Supreme Court's recent ruling on presidential immunity.
And the charges remain the same for Trump's alleged attempts to overturn the 2020 election, but special counsel Jack Smith reframed the indictment. One section that was removed had accused Trump of trying to use the power of the Justice Department to overturn his losses.
What they did is kept the 4 charges, and they just took out any evidence that clearly would have contradicted the Supreme Court's decision on presidential immunity.
Trump was quick to react online, saying the new indictment has all the problems of the old indictment and should be dismissed immediately. Democrats, critical of the Supreme Court's ruling, believe the new indictment still stands.
Let's say to Kamala Harris, you are fired. We are not sending you to the Oval Office. And Donald J. Trump is coming back to clean up your mess, Kamala Harris, and it's going to start right here in the state of Michigan.
The battle over Michigan is heating up. Senator J.D. Vance back in the mitten today, speaking to supporters in Big Rapids. Vance argued Kamala Harris has been destroying Americans' hope of owning their own home and getting ahead. Vice President Harris, in a campaign ad, said prices are still too high. When she's elected president, she will make it a top priority to bring down costs.
And on Thursday, former President Donald Trump will return for the second time this week. He will visit a steel plant in Potterville outside of Lansing. Also on Thursday, the vice president's husband will campaign in Grand Rapids, and Vice President Harris herself announced a new Michigan stop today. She will attend a Labor Day event in Detroit on Monday. Details have not been released. While cleanup is set to begin at the site of a deadly explosion in Clinton Township.
But challenges still lie ahead. Today, the EPA gave more information on its cleanup at the former site of the Goose Smoke Shop. It erupted in flames in March, throwing shrapnel into the air and killing a young man standing nearby. EPA officials say while the fire has long been out, there are still dangers posed by sifting through the rubble.
Are there still cans of ultrafine butane? Are there other things in there that we don't know about? If there's an ignition source, there is always a potential threat that there could set off another fire.
The EPA says heavy machinery will be moving in after Labor Day. It estimates the cleanup will take about 100 days.